Good morning, traders. I'm Emily Advani, the CEO of the Investment Banking Institute and your host here at NewsWare's Trade Talk. Joining me is trading anchor Bill Olson, who brings more than 30 years of institutional trading experience to our program. At Trade Talk, we provide the facts, themes, and trading ideas for the day ahead. Today is Friday, August 29th. We close out the week and the month today ahead of an extended holiday weekend as investors continue to parcel through earnings and await more data on inflation. Yesterday, markets ended higher. The Dow added 71 points or 0.16%. The S&P 500 picked up 20 points or 0.32%, marking another record close. The Nasdaq gained 115 points or just more than 0.5%. Bill, let's get into today's action with what is happening in the markets this morning.
Hi, yes, good morning, Emily. I'm watching the S&Ps. We're down 0.28% this morning. There's a lot going on today. Because you got to remember, today is the day before a holiday, so volatility typically can kick up on the Friday before a long weekend. And, right now the market's reacting to a host of earnings reports, the latest round of earnings reports that came out last night and a couple this morning. And we're also waiting on that key inflation report that's coming out from the Commerce Department later this morning, which is the PCE data. And because, that's due out before the opening bell. There's talk out there that the Trump administration is looking to expand tariffs on steel and aluminum products. Remember that court case is coming up for a decision on whether Trump has the legal authority or not to do these tariffs. Fed Governor Cook, she's also having a hearing today, regarding her employment at the Fed. She's likely to win because, Trump's case is based on an accusation. It's not based on any facts. It was an accusation that of what she did. She's calling a clerical error. We'll see what the courts decide, but that's going to be happening this morning as well. Governor Waller, Christopher Waller, he was speaking last night. He continues to make his push for low rates due to expectations of a weakening labor market. The problem here is that the Fed works is data dependent, and he's not talking about being data dependent. He's talking about what he's forecasting, and that's kind of different. But that gives him his reasoning for wanting to lower rates. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. But the market is expecting a 25 basis point rate cut when they meet in September. Alibaba came out this morning. They announced earnings, stocks trading positive, but they also announced the development of a new AI chip that is more versatile than its older chips, and that's seen as a positive for Alibaba, which is up 4.32% this morning. We're seeing, besides Alibaba being up, you're seeing strong gains in AFRM, Autodesk, Elastic, ESTC, and Ulta Beauty. They're all positive after earnings releases. Monday's a holiday, so there's no earnings Monday, but Tuesday morning we get back. There's ASO and SIG. They're expected to release quarterly updates, and those are two names to be watching for. And then you're looking over it. Europe this morning, and we are seeing some weakness. The DAX is down, 0.19%, a little weakness in tech and autos. The FTSE is down, 0.21%. You're seeing weakness in bank stocks. Paris in France, the CAC is down 0.32%. The French political dynamics are causing some concerns, and then you get the PCE. Luxury stocks are weakening, and that's really what the big issue is causing, the French index to fall down 0.32% this morning. Then you turn your attention over to Asia, and you're looking at the Nikkei. The Nikkei lost 110 points or 0.26%. Really due to weaker than expected economic reports that came out in July. They came out for the month of July. That's what really caused the weakness in the Nikkei, especially in industrial production and retail sales. Hong Kong, the Hang Seng actually turned higher. It actually gained 0.32%. And we saw, tech stocks and consumer stocks outperforming, but trading was cautious because you got the inflation data, you got the ongoing worries about Chinese demand. So it moved higher, just didn't rally. In China, the Shanghai was up 0.37%. Tech stocks, AI stocks led that market higher. Pharma and financials also saw gains over there in China. Then we're taking a look at oil this morning, and oil is trading lower. WTI is trading at $64.40. Brent is trading at $68.27. For the month, oil prices have fallen about 7%. That's a big decline for a month. But this is the end of the summer driving season. This is the last weekend of the big summer driving event. So after this, you're going to see some changes in inventory. So we'll keep an eye on that. But that's what I have for you in terms of morning market update, Emily.
Bill, you did mention a couple of key market catalysts here, including some economic reports, but of course, a host of earnings, definitely continues to be a market driver. So we will get to earnings action first. Bill, what is going on there on this Friday?
A lot of stocks came out. We got to start off with Marvell, MRVL. They met on EPS expectations and a slightly higher revenue, but not good enough. Stock's down 13.95%. Then you got Autodesk, ADSK. They delivered a beat of 17 cents on higher revenue. Autodesk was trading higher by 11.8%. Dell Technologies beat by 3 cents on higher revenue. Wasn't a bad report. Stock's down 6.64% this morning. And then AFRM, Apple Frank Richard Mary. They beat by 8 cents. They did it on higher revenue. It is the leading stock of all the earning plays. It's up 16.9% this morning to 93. It's up 17.13% to 93.69 this morning. So Affirm, nice. Upcoming on Tuesday morning, Academy Sports and Outdoors. That's ticker ASO. Apple Sam Oscar. EPS is $2.12. Expected move 7.69%. Signet Jewelers, SIG, Sam India Grace. EPS $1.21. Expected move is 13.71% when they release Tuesday morning, Emily.
Bill, I have to, make a point here that Affirm was your pick of the day yesterday. A huge move higher after that earnings report. We will dive into more details on that by the end of the show, so stick with us through that recap. Now on to the day's economic events. There is more inflation data out today. It's important to be watching. So, Bill, what is going on in terms of the day's economic events?
Well, I mean, listen, there's a lot of economic events going on today, but the key ones are 8:30 a.m. the International Trade in Goods and Services. Also at 8:30, you got the PCE report. That's going to be the big one, and then at 10 a.m. you get the consumer sentiment. That's the University of Michigan. Now, listen, what can I say? Yeah, I mean, this is a big inflation report that is coming out. Now, the headline inflation is expected to come in and rise around 2.6% year over year, similar to June, but the core is expected to come in, slightly above to 2.9%. If it comes in at 2.9%, I mean, the market will feel good. It'll be positive because that's the expectations. If it's higher than that, we could see some weakening. But as long as it's 2.9% or lower, where markets are going to be stabilized. But that's what I have for you in terms of economic update, Emily.
Bill, you're watching those key earnings using your NewsWare alert for earnings. You're watching those key economic indicators using an economic alert. And then you still have other types of data, information, and news sorted into different types of alerts. So using your NewsWare, you're able to follow things like merger news, guidance news, shareholders meetings, buyback news, and catalyst calls. You group your stocks together like your FANG stocks and your Dow 30 stocks to really track trends on the trading day. So Bill, what else do you see is possibly moving the markets today?
I'm doing a quick data check. I'm looking here. I got 11 higher. 2 unchanged because that would make 17 lower. And then I'm looking at my bank stocks this morning. And honestly, they're all trading weaker. They are, yesterday we were all showing gains. Today we're showing some losses in a lot of these big tech stocks. And you look at some of the news behind the tape, like Apple's interesting to me because Apple recently threatened UK regulators regarding, new phone features being delayed release in the UK, due to their possible mirroring of the Europeans' Digital Service Act. Such a threat is interesting to me because saying you're going to get delayed features because they got that highly anticipated event on September 9th of a product announcement. You don't make a threat if you can't follow through, and so we'll have to see. But I think it's heightening the anticipation of that September 9th product announcement. That's for sure. We're talking Google, the YouTube TV. They did announce this morning or late yesterday that Fox has agreed to keep content on YouTube TV, which is positive. That Google Pixel phone, is out there now, the new one, and that thing could be a hot seller. It's getting a lot of rave reviews. Meta appears to be having staffing issues. I mean, remember, they've been at a big push for top AI talent, and apparently it's not going smoothly. I mean, there were reports saying, describing a harsh internal environment at Meta and instability within team assignments and a lack of clear leadership and management style that, some find toxic. That's what's being reported. Interesting. Tesla, Elon Musk is looking to dismiss the SEC lawsuit over his stake in Twitter, regarding when he disclosed his stake. Turning to Dow Jones 30 stocks, we got to talk about Big Cat, CAT, Charlie Apple Tom, Caterpillar sees $500 to $600 million impact from tariffs in the Q3. UNH, United Healthcare, lawmakers are pressing United Healthcare on loans to healthcare providers that they made after cyber attacks. Got to talk Nike, NKE, they're about to lay off 1% of the corporate staff in their latest effort to refocus their business. In terms of merger news, DuPont agrees to sell one of its businesses for $1.8 billion. Skechers, SKX, 3G Capital Partners appear to be moving forward with that deal. They received the regulatory approvals. That's positive. In terms of guidance news, Ultra Beauty, ULTA, they raised their full year 2025 view to $23.85 to $24.30. Street estimate at $23.59. That's a big uptick. DKS, Dick's Sporting Goods, see year-over-year EPS decline in Q3, but a rise in Q4. Interesting. Now you know how to play it. Yeah, that's all I'm seeing this morning.
This is the type of data that NewsWare delivers daily. It's factual, it's market moving, and our alerting functions bring it to your attention as it happens. Go to www.newsware.com now and sign up for the trial and see for yourself the benefits that professional Newswire delivers. We've now made it to that time of the show for the Trade Talk pick of the day. Bill, this is the last one in August as we end the week ahead of a holiday weekend. What do you have for us today?
Going to go with Signet Jewelers, ticker SIG, Sam India Grace. Earnings are out Tuesday morning. EPS is $1.20. Expected move is 12.91%. Yesterday's call volume was 1,429 calls versus 951 puts. Positive. Open interest 16K to 12K. Positive. Major brokers are mostly positive. They're raising price targets on the stock. I like that. Last quarter, they did raise their adjusted EPS guidance to reflect the repurchasing of more than 5% of the outstanding shares year to date. That's positive. It's kind of hard to call an entry point at this time because you don't have you're way down the PCE data and volatility that can occur before a long weekend. But listen, if I can get in 87, 87.50, if it sells down to that area, if there's a push lower around there, that would be a good entry price. So I'll give or take 25 cents, say 87.25, but that's my pick of the day. Signet Jewelers, Sam India Grace, Emily.
Signet Jewelers, it is today on an earnings play ahead of that earnings report on Tuesday. And coming up, we will do a recap on your earnings play from yesterday. So stick with us through that. But first, let's take a look at the current baking headlines that have hit the tape in our hot off the press segment. Bill, take it away.
Okay, what do we see here this morning? Senate Democrats urge Trump administration to pause IPO for Fannie and Freddie Mac. President Trump ends security protection for Kamala Harris. Yeah, that's probably not wise because he's doing that to a lot of people. ONC B1 Medicines report positive results from their phase 1/2 study. Alibaba's AI chip helps to fill a void for the loss of NVIDIA opportunities for buying chips. RTX, got a $1.7 billion Army contract modification. Johnson & Johnson halted the development of a drug that they have out there. Eli Lilly, LLY, they're offering a discounted deal on their weight loss drug to UK pharmacies to help limit cost spikes. CVS, Charlie Victor Sam, they're not offering COVID vaccines, vaccination shots in like 16 states. IREN, India, Richard, Edward, Nancy. These guys secured NVIDIA's preferred partner status, procuring 168 million in GPUs. Wow. That's all I'm seeing this morning.
Okay, Bill, before we sign off for the weekend, let's do that recap on yesterday's pick of the day. We pointed it out earlier in the show, was AFRM. We may have given it away a little bit, being that it's up about 17% this morning after their earnings report, but we'll dig into the details here. JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley, UBS, and B of A all raised price targets on the stock this morning. When it comes to their earnings, revenue rose 33% to $876 million in the quarter. This was topping estimates of $837 million that analysts had anticipated. The company posted a profit of 20 cents, making it a turnaround from the loss of 14 cents in the same period last year. Bill, how did your call work out?
I mean, listen, it worked out fabulous. I mean, the stock opened up at $78.25, and it ran to $85 before the EPS announcement. And then you look at the stock this morning, the firm is trading $93.69. That's up 17%. I mean, so any way you look at it, a firm, it was a winner yesterday. I mean, you're seeing a 17% gain, whether you got it by entry price or the entry or the opening price, you made big money because they both hit. So a firm, winner, winner, winner.
Big money on it this Friday, and we will check in with you on Tuesday about today's Signet Jewelers pick of the day. A reminder that markets are closed on Monday in observance of the Labor Day holiday. Bill, thank you as always for your expert insight. Join us back here Tuesday with NewsWare's Trade Talk when we provide the facts, themes, and trading ideas for the day ahead. Again, I'm your host, Emily Advani, here with trading anchor Bill Olson. Traders, you know what to do. Let's go out there and make some green.